Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Stationeers. So I wanted to address sort of an underlying issue I have with a lot of the feedback and comments that I've gotten. Just a critique. A lot of people say, why am I using logic chips when I could just be using integrated circuits? Here's what I have to say about that definitively, is why I'm doing it. Ultimately, it's because this series is trying to educate the largest, widest possible audience. And I would say the average viewer viewing this video is either unfamiliar with Stationeers entirely, or is relatively new with Stationeers. Now, yes, some of you veterans know exactly what's going on when I do MIPS and IC integrated circuit programming, but a lot of people don't. And in order to sort of educate those people, some systems, like solar tracking, kind of make sense with with the integrated circuits, and probably the pressurization of the base will follow suit. But I don't need to make simple circuits like this. Look, I mean, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 little chips. I don't need to make that any more complicated for the average viewer, which is why I choose not to. Alright, well, with that said, let's continue programming this up. I know it's a cable-y mess. But is, in my mind, a little simpler to follow than you know, IC MIPS stuff that I have to talk through every time. I don't know, personal preference, but there you have it. There is my personal preference. So what we're doing here, as a quick reminder, I am setting up this APC here so that everything downstream of it controls the lights that I want to be flicked on and off on the orange circuit. I'm probably, almost certainly, going to add some additional lights to this circuit. This is just the way it is. So right now, as you can see, all of these dangling orange cables here represent what I need to hook up. So the first thing I'm going to do is connect these dangling orange cables together so they're on one network rather than on multiple networks. And that includes adding the door here to it. Again, this door is basically fully cosmetic, but just because it's cosmetic doesn't mean it shouldn't be powered on. I think it'd be a little weird not to have it powered on. So, the lights that we got here, a quick reminder. Oh, it's so weird that the pipe of the cryo is sticking out there. I feel like the cryo is actually 1 unit lower than it should be, but whatever. We also need to hook up this top light too, but I'm going to worry about the top light after, just working on one thing at a time. Alright, for me to hook this cable up, this one is going to be a little bit trickier because it is sort of stuck and isolated. So we're going to have to drop it down and bring it up and around. So what I'm probably going to do here is a junction. Alright, maybe in a three-way corner. No, it needs to be a little bit further out for a three-way corner, doesn't it? It's, how do I get... Yeah, I might even want to run it along the top of the room. That might just be a cleaner solution here. Much cleaner. Now, I don't aim for all of these little cable-y projects to be perfect. God knows they're not going to be. You know, if I wanted to take a considerable amount of the viewer's time to patch these up and make them look perfect, I would, but I'm just trying to make it work, and while retaining some basic semblance of aesthetic, you know, appeal. That is my goal here. If you disagree with that, you're probably watching the wrong movie, the wrong video here. Alright, let's go. Oh, no, not a junction. Definitely not a junction. We don't need cables sticking out of our windows. No, sir. Now, I could raise these cable levels up so they don't dangle, but I kind of like the dangle. I like the sort of industrial feel of it, you know? And I could run this cable straight to the APC. Hooking it around here. And then this is going to have to be some sort of junction or something like that because we haven't hooked up the ceiling lights. Or light, rather. So a quick reminder, we just have one light up here. This area light. Let me get down to it. Where is it plugged in? Is it at all even plugged in? Hold on. I am struggling with navigation here a little bit. No, I don't think this is plugged in at all. So here's the light. And the plug, I think, is obscured by this panel. Yes, it is. Now, what's annoying, or maybe not annoying, but inconvenient, is the fact that we have orange network cables literally right next to where that light comes up, but we can't connect it. Because this current orange network, well, let's see. Let's see just as a point of reference what's going on with this orange network. So this orange network connects to the LEDs and runs live power. Oh man, these frames. Boy, oh boy, are they getting annoying. How about I just delete you? I don't need that frame. Yes, so this then connects down. What does it connect to? To the... Where does this go? Oh man, this is Alright, so it connects, what, to... right here? And this runs over to the tank and the IC logic. And then also over to our logic chips. And eventually, we will have it connect to the APC itself, running power all the way from the battery or the transformer to everywhere that needs the action. All right. And that also means that it needs to run clear to this logic reader too. So let's start wiring that up too. Gonna look something like this. And I'm gonna need more cables. Alright. That means that these readers, yep, can flick on. So, much like the floor below us, the reader is going to be MISC LR elevator level. So let's go ahead and start labeling these things. Actually, let me eat my potato. Can't work while hungry, right? Copy this and paste. And then we'll do the same for the memory. And this should be familiar because I literally just set this up last episode, so it's not that much of a stretch. The Atmo logic compare. And then the Atmo logic writer, lights and monitors. Alright, there we go. I'd say simple, but no, it's not exactly simple. Alright, so this elevator level needs to be wired up. So the input, let me just click this until we get an elevator shaft, there we go. And read the level, turn this on, levels 3, just like the one below. And then this memory here, I could have just kept the labeler out and labeled it, but it's just as easy to look at the... Alright, so now that has a state of 3. And then a quick reminder, we're basically just comparing it will be MISC LR elevator level with the memory. So here is the compare unit. So MISC elevator, the memory level with the elevator level, and equals, and state should be... Oh, my bad. This member here needs to be 5, not 3. I can't just copy the one below. Alright, so state will be 0, and then this writer is going to, just like the one below, as a reminder, this writer has the input as the compare, the output as the APC, which I haven't labeled either. Let me label my APC, huh? So this will be MISC APC, lights and monitors. Alright. So input, the MISC logic compare, output, the MISC APC lights and monitors, and what did I do down here? This was just whether it's on or not. Done. Alright. And now, the moment of truth. Most of my lights should work, except for the top light. The top light hasn't been wired up yet. So when we call the floor to this level, yes, get these lights on. And these lights aren't hooked up either, but they are really easy to hook up. Because this one is right next to the cable, but I'm going to want a print cable. Alright, so let's send this down. And we should see those lights turn off and the door turn off. And then call it back up and these lights turn on automatically. So I'm not done, but I have most of the basic work done. Yeah, the brunt of the work is done. I'm just going to slap some wall segments back. I like it. I like it very much. Yes, could have been done easier or differently or whatever, but hey, it works. And in terms of the cost of the project, it hasn't broken the bank. You know what? This pipe is just the worst. This drab pipe really cuts my my mobility around. I almost want to reroute it just to go a little wider so it doesn't stop me. All right, cables. Not to get off track too far. And just checking in on my little farm over there. Now there's some other things I need to do here. Slapaz, or whatever, I'm pronouncing your name wrong, said maybe I want some patio lights here. That's entirely possible. Things I could add maybe in the future. A little challenging to do in the future. But if I want any sort of external lights, they'd probably go on MISC, which is what I'm currently cabling for right now, in fact. I think for now, as that's somewhat of a finishing touch, I will leave it. But that is food for thought. Alright, that's probably not enough cables, but I don't want to sit around and watch them print forever. Also put my screwdriver away in properly. So sue me. Let's first run the light that's up here to be wired in correctly, as this one is pretty easy to forget. So it's this light right here. And what's a real pain about this one is, as you can see, it's going to have to be wired around pretty crazy for this to be... Is this even possible? Yeah, it's possible, but it's annoying. It's going through a lot of frames. A lot of the frames in this floor, honestly, at this point, should be probably removed if I'm trying to stay consistent. And remember, these will be ceiling boards. You're not going to be able to see these cables. And yeah, I am as a result, oh god, this pipe. Why did I ever put it there? Why couldn't it be up a little or down a little and not just literally where it is? Oh, it's painful. Yep, so we're gonna have to reroute this a tad. I'll have the new one go up rather than snip the old one. Because I would say just a light bulb does not have the right of way over the cable that's carrying power to our logic and all that. In fact, we could just keep it at this level. Have it snake upwards and stay upwards. Yeah, I'm about ready to carve out the frames that are in this project. Alright, this light here, let's connect it. There we go. And then run the power up so that we can both go over to the other side, to the other light, and then also to piggyback over here. So I think this will be a three-way corner. And I'm running, undoubtedly running out of cable once again. I had to make a considerably long run, longer than I thought I would. Alright, so now that the elevator's on our floor, as you can see, that thing lights up. And we set it down, and it turns off. Perfect. And then we recall it, and it turns back on. And as you can see with the LEDs, our power consumption goes up when we're on this floor. This is the miscellaneous floor after all, so that makes sense. Now, I want to break that pipe right there. What do I want to do? I want to switch sides. Oh, also we have the lights that are above. They're going to have to be on their own APC, despite the fact that they're also on the orange network. They're going to be on their own APC because I need to separate the floors out. But what I need to do is connect this light over to this cable. So I will happily and sloppily run this cable just over to the other side. I don't have a lot of respect for what my cables look like in the innards of my base, do I? Alright, alright, let's grab this one back because I'm out of cables. And then that's all that's left to do is just one more floor of this, because we will leave the basement for another time. One thing I want to do is, rather than complain about that stupid pipe, let's do something about this pipe. So this is the pollutants pipe that I keep bashing into, and it keeps blocking me. So rather than to color these standard color pipes, let me just grab one of these and then change the color of the rest. So there was actually pollutants in here, but when you remove a pipe, it does not it just pushes all the gas around. It doesn't remove gas or anything, which is good. So this is just for the sake of mobility inside my base. Alright, it can't be up that high because that is going to be interfering with something else. But I can scoot it up a little bit. Have it squiggle a bit, and that will really aid me in being able to move around this crawl space, because now I can fit. Yes. If anyone has, you know, lumbered around an unfinished basement and smacked your head on something, you'll know that, you know, instead of smacking your head, boy, if the original builder could have only, you know, designed it so that it was serviceable. I don't know. I'm talking from personal experience. I grew up in an old home with a lot of old radiator pipes and plumbing, and the inside of the innards of the house was a mess. Alright, so this is going to have to connect to this here. Done. And then these lights can be flicked on. And then, when we're not here, they will turn off. Yep. Alright, let me call the elevator. Oh, it's nice. It's a nice side project that has taken a lot of time. And removing the old consoles. Cleaning up after myself, basically. Whoa! Alright. Wrong tool. So I was complaining about these frames here. I really don't need them anymore. And if I temporarily do, I can always put them back. I kind of like the look of the crawl space without frames anyway. As it's sort of more slick. Like, this area looks pretty cool. Looks like I'm in the service bay of a spaceship or something. Whereas when it's all framed up, it sort of loses its maintenance bay feel and becomes, I don't know, blocky like Minecraft or something. I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong with voxel blocks, but it just has less of an appeal to me, for me. Alright, so we have one more floor to go. Because it's also going to be on the Orange network, we could use the same logic reader as the floor above, because it will be on the same data network. We just need new memory and compare and writer. And that would be for this. So the logic reader here is, I guess, in a way, unnecessary. Sorry, logic reader. Little I/O. I'm gonna put this away before I forget about it, right?
Jetpack on.
Oh. I did have a few extra. I still have more. Alright, that's good to know.
Jetpack on.
At this point, what I could do is tidy up this, because it's no longer, I no longer need to have this frame jutting out. And then we'll put the wall piece back on. There we go. Just like new. You wouldn't know. I would, because I can see it. But, yep. So we got purple, and then we'll have two oranges. We won't have a green, because we don't have a vitals floor, but, yeah. Taking a look at this network here. What's cool about this is this orange cable here that I'm staring at, right here, I can just bring upwards. So it's going to be a little bit easier to wire this one up. Because all I'm going to do is take this network and kick it up a floor, essentially. And then wiring everything up on this. Green cable's going to need to move. I could move the APC, actually. That would just, that'd be a little easier. Power in, power out. Alright. Yep. Yep. Alright, so here's the APC. And we'll have it be a junction. memory, and then the... I'll just do the crazy, very cable-intensive wiring up of this. Inefficient, I know, but, you know, I don't need to think about it, and that comes with its own perks. Now, the weird thing is, I'm going to name, even though it's miscellaneous, I'm going to need to name the floor above me something other than miscellaneous. So, let's call it farm. Just to keep it separate. So, farm logic compare. And farm memory, elevator level, and we're still going to use the misc, and we'll just call this misc/farm, so it serves both purposes. All right, beautiful. This one is floor 7, I suspect. It goes up by odds because we have dead floors, or not dead floors, but floors that are service floors. And then, oh, this APC needs a name too. Confirm. Great. A little screwdriver action here. So this will be the elevator level equals the farm memory elevator level. Turn that on. Obviously, state should be 0 because it doesn't at the moment. This logic writer will be the farm. Farm logic compare, and output will be the farm APC. Farm APC lights and monitors, and whether it's on or off. Cool. And then let's just wire up one example light, just to make sure it works, and then we can wire up the rest. So this is the example light. And it's literally right next to the APC, so it's perfect. Cool. Now, let's get over to the farm here. Call the elevator. And once the elevator's up here, ta-da, it's on. And just to make sure it works correctly, elevator down, it's off. And the floor below is on. Call it back up. And ding, Fraser, done. Man, that's a ancient reference. Alright, so we have a lot of lights to wire on. We've got 5 on this floor to wire up. But yeah, that's not that bad. And I'm just gonna make sure, oop, getting hungry. I'm just gonna make sure that I absolutely have this entire floor wired up. So, oh, we have this light right here that is not. That is not wired in, but that's going to be quite easy, because this right here is the cable, the active cable that we need to tie into. So it's just right here for the wiring. All right. There we go. That's a pretty luminous. I'll turn off my own lights. Don't fall. Send it away. And goes into hibernate mode. We call it back. Now, this solution obviously cannot be used for multiplayer because your players are going to be in different floors, so don't do this. If this is ever going to be a multiplayer, have light switches, have motion detectors. Do not, I repeat, do not have your lights set up this way because you're going to have a lot of people in the dark. All right, up a floor. It's pretty easy. Is this wired on? Yeah, looks like it. Alright, so we're going to need to run some power around the base and wire these things in. So how do I... I'm just sort of brainstorming how I send power to the other side of the elevator. Because once it hits the middle of the elevator, it stops. I can have it curve in a really crazy way, I guess. But for me to do that, I need to temporarily deconstruct this frame. I don't need the frames here. Like, I just think it's aesthetically pleasing, because otherwise the logic just kind of floats, and that looks weird. But it allows me to move around the base easier. So no argument for me if that's the permanent solution. All right, I'm already in a bit of a pickle here, because apparently I can't even build that far out. So I'm gonna have to send my downstream APC power over some really crazy route. Probably something like this. No, it's not that crazy. That's doable. Wiring up my beautiful base. Alright, so we want to plug this in. No, that's not gonna work. Perfect. Alright, so this other light, once I can look at the light, should turn on. It's weird to have the whole base without floors or frames. It's just kind of floating. Alright, call elevator, send it back up. I'm gonna need to make some cables.
Light off.
And ta-da! 2 of 5 lights turn on. Now the other lights are going to be annoying to wire up because it's a pretty long run, so I might as well print up a whole bunch of cables. So let's combine the cables I have now and check on my farm while I print a whole bunch and then play 52 pickup. %O2. It's been around 12% O2 for a while now. It's kind of holding. Stabilizing. Temperature's perfect. Pressure's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And I'm just cycling the harvest here. I did let my soybean stockpiles decrease to a recklessly low level. So I'm trying to rectify that. I was asked about the pumpkin. So you're given multiple seeds for most crops, but for pumpkins, please buy slightly different rules where you just get the one. It's kind of one-shot thing. I think I've proven that this farm is safe and stabilized again. So if I was to grow a pumpkin, it would be in here and not in my new complex. My new complex, a lot more could go wrong. Alright. I'm going to play 52 pickup. Yes, I get it. Stacker. Someone here is about to say, oh, you should use a stacker. And missed the multiple episodes of saying, I really don't want to modify my my starter base at all, because then I'll be stuck just modernizing my starter base until it's as good as the base I currently have. Or at least that's my worry. You know, there's no point in going back and constantly fixing old projects, or you're just never going to get around to the new projects. That's sort of the long and short of it. Alright, potato, baked potato. Yeah, I could do fries again, but big potatoes, they might take a little while to cook, and eat,
Jetpack
but they're fine.
on.
Functionally fine. Alright, so I don't recall where... Oh, there's where I left off the power. That's a pretty short run. My guess is this one's a short run, too. Probably doesn't really go anywhere. Whoa, ate the whole potato. So let's see if we can get yellow here. Nope. Okay, so there's yellow there. So interestingly enough, that just curves inwards and... Okay, I understand now. Well, it's a little ugly because these frames don't match up. Oh, you know what? I'm hitting... I need... I don't want... Cut me some slack, game. I'm going to have to dramatically remove a whole lot of the roofing here because I can't really see what's going on. Which sucks. So I'll keep the glass and plastics that I'm removing in a separate stack. So there's 18 of those. Because I need to be able to see what I'm doing, and right now all the required guts are being oops, I forgot a window. Are being obscured by Windows 20. Alright. And yes, I will be removing pretty much everything. Windows and all. Frames, etc. Earth. At least once I do this, I'm a step closer to being done. Because the issue here is I think I have multiple things sort of in the frame edges, and I can't really see what I'm doing until I tear it all up. 21, huh? Seems like it's... Oh, because I missed one. I'm probably not going to have cables running that far back, but I might as well... If I'm going to tear most of it up, I might as well tear all of it up. And then the last piece is ink grind. And this is exactly why I've been so slow to pressurize, because such a pressurization goal would make construction project like this just about impossible. Trying to work blind and inside the frames. Okay. So now I can see at least what's going on. Which is good. And now I know what path I must take in order to make this work. So, we have two lights up top here, and my light run is actually going to go this way. So we're going to grab this here and curve it back like that. Now, I probably could have guessed that to avoid the blue cable, but it's been a while since I laid down that blue cable in physical weeks, and I didn't really remember where its path took. Kind of like all the dig safe signs you see. You know, I couldn't recall. Alright, and that runs down. Alright, and then this should be allowed or able to turn on, and it does. Because this is this cable curves no. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I need to... Crap. Yeah, I did combine it. I need to put this back. Alright, that's back. So, let me remind myself what this does. This goes up because it's the only way to get the gas sensor there. Ick. That's all I have to say is ick. Why can't it run here? It could. Maybe it should. Let me just see about that. Running down the elevator like this. Because there seems to be a, the gas cable... Hold on, let me check on something real quick. I need a network analyzer for this task. I'm just gonna make sure it's the same network. So yeah, so that I know I can just rewire it. Because if it's a separate network, then that's a problem. So network analyzer. Let's go and switch. Put the Atmo away. The battery here is just about dead, so I'll switch that out. And alright, so if this is cable network 2426. Is this also cable network 2426? It is. Alright, yeah, I can rewire it and it won't cause problems. Perfect. I love this solution. It's a lot more elegant than the crazy snake that I built before. Alright, so snip this. And I'm going to leave parts of this blue cable present so I can properly remove it. Sort of like leaving the tip of a splinter. And then this will curve up. And of course, this is a maintenance floor, so cables can float. Oops, that's really floating. This is so much easier than having like some crazy cable snake around window frames. And they don't align because my depth perception was a little off. An attempt was made. Alright, so now that gas sensor up there is plugged in to the HVAC network, and that means that this garbage can be removed. But for me to properly remove it, I'm going to need to remove some of these windows because I can't see where it goes exactly. Man, I have done so much destruction to the to this hydroponics room. Alright, let's keep removing this. Alright, so it goes all the way down here. And then let's drop this cable coil. This can be a straight cable now. And then pick up the 23, combine it with the 1. Perfect. And then this will be really easy to plug in now that I've rewired that. So this is on, and now I just have this last light to plug in, and this one isn't that bad either, because it just can go along the wall, run down, and then I'll just have to get behind this. Yep. Perfect. corner out, and connected. All right, and that should be every light on my hydroponics floor now wired up elevator style.
Light off.
So let's recall the elevator, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 go on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. All right, got that done. Now the project of putting everything back. So it seems like missing some inside windows. I don't know why I was missing them, but I don't recall ever removing those window frames, which was honestly a little worrisome that I had stuff missing. Maybe not that big of an issue because I would have caught it before pressurizing. I hope. Something I probably would have seen. Alright, and I think I need more wall frames because I don't know. These are walls 2. Yeah, these are walls 2. I guess I'll use them up. So there's one wall. There's 30. Alright, there we go. There we go. Without the white of the window frames, it's hard to tell what cells I've done and what I haven't. Plastic sheeting to make these look more window-like, and then I'm going to put the glass in all but the middle one. I feel like I'm tightrope rocking, and I just would have died.
Jetpack on.
And I'm definitely going to need more plastic for this. Apparently I had sort of gutted some of these windows, and I just never really put it back. I like borrowed wall pieces or something. I don't know what it did. I don't recall. But we can put it back. What do I need? I need plastics. Alright, 20 for now. There's a lot more if I need more. And it's entirely possible I'll need to cut back into this if there's another project that is projected. Now, those walls I'll probably remove because I did want it to be a crawl space until I'm ready to pressurize. I'm just sort of curious what the base looks like. One of the issues, of course, is that it's pretty hard to tell how luminous your base will be without putting the walls down because of the albedo effect, or basically reflection. You know, when it's all dark black frames and the like, it's really hard to tell how reflective of a surface everything is until you add some, you know, some of the white paneling. Now some of the light fixture is visible in the window, and that's inelegant, but it's not something I can't really think of a great fix for it either. Oops, I didn't mean to add that middle one. So that's our sort of escape hatch for now. And there's going to be a lot of panes missing at the moment. I'm running out of glass. Alright, well, that's already starting to look better. But alas, I'm out of time. So we absolutely got the floors lights fixed up with the elevator. We haven't done the basement yet, but that's a future project. If you have any sort of projects like this one for me to queue up before I continue getting the base ready for pressurization, just drop me a line and I'll get it done. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all later. Adios.